Every part of the fresh produce value chain is represented in Berlin at Fruit Logistica, and that includes quality control, a vital link in that chain. Take Israeli company Clarifruit, for example, which has developed what it claims is the world's first AI-powered real-time quality control software for the fresh produce business. The platform uses advanced computer vision technology to automate inspections and measure things like color, size, and defects. And in doing so, it promises to cut food waste and boost sales. And investors are excited too. Clarifruit recently attracted a $12 million investment to continue its development. For more on this exciting venture, I spoke to Elad Mardix, CEO and co-founder of Clarifruit, and Amir Weitmann of Champel Capital. Elad and Amir, thanks very much for joining us on this episode of FruitNet's World of Fresh Ideas. Now, Clarifruit, can you tell us, Elad, briefly, how does this system work and what problem does it address?
Sure. Thank you, Mike, for having us. Clarifruit is actually the first platform in the world to build a quality control software exclusively designed for the fresh produce supply chain. Our software leverage computer vision technology in order essentially to automate the way quality is being evaluated across the supply chain. If you think about the manual QC process that is taking place today, people are still using size rings and calipers and color palettes to evaluate all kinds of attributes as part of the QC process and then putting it on a piece of paper or Excel. We're bringing the 21st century into this industry, and by using AI technology, we're automating it and making the QC process objective and consistent wherever you are, in the field, in the packing house, or the distribution center.
Now, Elad, a lot has been said about artificial intelligence and its application in the fresh produce business over the last few years. What makes the use of this software in Clarifruit's quality control platform so unique?
Great question. I think much of the secret sauce that we've been able to build in our platform relates to the fact that the ease of use of our application, which, by the way, operates on any smartphone device from the last 4.5 years in the market, makes it actually accessible and usable by the inspector. You know, we're already powering today the QC for some of the leading brands in the world, whether it's Stole Sunshine in Asia, Sunkist in US, or San Luca in Europe, and they're using our application in the field and in the packing house. And I think the fact that we've been able to build an AI machine that can operate in different environments, whether it's from a lighting conditions or setup circumstances, enable our customers to have a great user experience.
That's great. And now, Amir, let's turn to you. Your company, Champel Capital, has clearly seen something it likes in Clarifruit, and it was involved just recently in a $12 million investment, capital investment into the company to take it forward. What is it that you have identified in Clarifruit that you particularly see as having excellent potential?
Yes, certainly. We were one of the two co-leads of this round. So we think that it is utterly unacceptable to carry on with the level of waste that we're seeing in this completely inefficient supply chain in the fruits and vegetables. As everybody knows, around 45% of fruits and vegetables are wasted between the grower and the retailer. This is not something we can carry on. We are in 2022, turning in soon 2023. We have to make our supply chain more efficient, more robust, and frankly more efficient for everybody of us. Now, it means carry on with this level of inefficiency means we are all poor, means that is needless strain on the planet, on the environment, on the climate, because of course it means that we have to grow an unnecessarily large amount of fruits and vegetables to just reach the desired results. By simply cutting down on waste, we would make, first of all, everybody wealthier with a disproportionate impact on the poorer level stratas of society. And of course, we would have to use less resources to grow all these fruits and vegetables, thereby having to use less land, less water, less energy, etc., with the results for the planet being quite clear to all of us.
Amir, you've hit on the nature of investment now, where investors are looking to invest in things which are more sustainable. Elad, given the size and scale of that global food waste challenge, how much of that problem can be solved by your software alone?
So, two thoughts on that. Thought number one is Amir mentioned the 45% waste that exists in the supply chain. A lot of different reasons. One common denominator, and that is what the industry actually defines as quality mismatch, right? Quality mismatch is a lose-lose scenario where the seller doesn't get the price that she wants, the buyer doesn't get the quality he expects. We believe that in a perfect world, there should not be a quality mismatch, because for every quality of a supply, there should be a buyer. It may not be a high-end retailer, it may be a lower-end, it may be a juice processing company. But if everyone spoke the same language and the inspection process was objective and consistent, and everyone had real-time information, we believe we can mitigate significantly the amount of quality mismatch that are going to take place in the industry. And that's really the problem that we're going after. We believe, by the way, from numbers perspective, and Dole Sunshine and us publicly announced in January this year that they are targeting a 10% reduction in waste in the next 24 months. We believe that somewhere between 10 to 24% of the waste that our players in the supply chain experience today could be eliminated by automating the way they evaluate their quality.
And clearly, Clarifruit is leading the way in terms of offering a solution, to that challenge. But convincing different stakeholders across different parts of the industry to buy into the same technology is not always easy. We've seen similar projects go by the wayside, for example, in shipping, in the introduction of blockchain. What kind of strategy are you going to adopt to make sure that your software does achieve that goal, that it does become, as close to a universal tool as it can become?
So I'll divide the answer here to two parts as well. I think first part is we got to be able to convey a clear ROI proposition for every customer on a standalone basis, right? When Dole Diversify adopted our solution 3 months ago, they didn't care to the fact that we're working with their suppliers and buyers at that point. They wanted to make sure that the ROI on their business is going to be clear within a 6 month period. And our AI technology and our standardization and big data platform enable that on a standalone basis. So that's part one for the answer. You got to show a clear ROI. And by the way, we offer a 30-day free trial for any of our customers so they can experience on their own and they don't need to believe me. The second answer is that at the end, and going back to the problem that we discussed before, right? We believe that the only way to significantly reduce the amount of quality mismatch that is taking place across the entire supply chain is by standardizing the way quality is evaluated across the entire supply chain. It can start with Bayer at the seed development, continuing with Dole Sunshine and Sunkist at the marketing company level, and end with the big retailers. All of them are doing fresh produce QC today on a sample basis. They just do it the same way they've done it in 1950. We're going to standardize it by bringing the AI technology in the market so everyone speaks the same language.
Now, Amir, that must be very encouraging for you to know that your investment is going into a technology which has so much potential to have an impact in lots of different parts of the fresh produce supply chain. The investment that you've put in with other people, what does that capital injection enable Clarifruit to do now, in your view?
Well, we are an impact fund, so we're looking for impact. But to have impact, you need to have a scale, because even if you do something very nice, but you're going to have a very low impact, then what's the point? We clearly are investing money because we have identified Clarifruit as being the leading technology in the world in this field. We believe that, as I mentioned before, that the field is critical. And we believe now that Clarifruit is developing the tools which is going to allow it soon, in the next certainly couple of years, to scale up its activity from where it is now to eventually become a leading global player in this industry with, of course, very, very significant revenues.
Now, Elad, just to finish, we expect to see you in Berlin for Fruit Logistica. What do you hope to achieve when you're there, apart from selling lots of 30-day free trials?
So I think two goals. Number one, Fruit Logistica, that's my third year coming to Fruit Logistica. It's the largest industry conference in our supply chain, and we're going to have our own booth. And I expect to have a very intimate networking opportunity, with all of my customers, but even more important, with a lot of prospects. I think the unique thing in Fruit Logistica is that it brings a lot of C-level attendees. And so the advantage from my perspective is that with a certain customer, which I've been engaged with for 5 months, let's say, I can now meet actually all the decision makers in one place in 2 days, which significantly shorten my sales cycle. So that's honestly the biggest benefit from my perspective. We're also going to take advantage actually of the coming Fruit Logistica, and we're actually going to launch what we believe is going to be the breakthrough technology for the industry from our computer vision technology. So far, we've been automating the external attributes identification like size and color for fresh produce. We're going to show to the world for the first time how an AI can actually analyze automatically defects as well. We're going to start with the citrus. And I think a lot of the players are going to find it extremely interesting, because if we can automate the defects on top of the external attribute, that means that the entire inspection process can now be objective and consistent. And that's going to be actually the first global launch of this demonstration in February. So you guys should come over.
Fantastic. Well, we will be there, and I hope lots of our viewers will also be there in person to witness that innovation. Elad, thank you very much. Elad Mardix of Clarifruit and Amir Weitmann of Champel Capital. Thank you to you both, and we wish you lots of success.
Thank you, Mike. Have a great day.
That's all for now from FruitNet's World of Fresh Ideas. Remember, you can go to Fruit Logistica's YouTube channel and subscribe, and visit fruitnet.com and sign up to our free daily news email with news all about the fresh produce business. And we'll see you in Berlin for Fruit Logistica.